In Module 3, we have seen how curricular elements, objectives, contents, evaluation criteria, markers, and the key competencies blend with the task, and how the curricular design must start with the evaluation criteria, as it integrates contents as well as cognitive processes which are visible in the objectives. Now we need to go on deciding the scenarios, the teaching resources and materials, the timing, the methodologies, and how we group our students, depending on the activity we have designed. Firstly, we are going to look at the scenarios. The space can be understood as a third teacher, according to Malaguzzi. You can create environments for learning, experimentation, communication, and/or for research. A well-organized space can act as a teacher. As you have decided your activities already, you now need to consider where these activities are going to take place. Are they going to be developed outdoors, indoors? Are they going to be collaborative activities which require collaborative spaces, such as a library or a classroom? You need to think of the possibilities you have at your school or outside. These could be the lecture room, the language lab, the ICT room, a workshop, learning corners, a virtual classroom, a visit to a museum. The second thing we need to consider is choosing the teaching resources and materials. What teaching resources and materials are you going to use? You can adapt existing resources, you can create them, you can buy them, you can bring authentic materials or rely or find them on the internet. Example of this would be videos, digital board, pictures, documents, books, magazines, maps, charts, computers, photos, illustrations, documentaries, etc. As for timing our lessons, it is necessary to plan beforehand. It's also important to be flexible and adapted to the context and the kids' demands. We need to have a picture of what we want to do and organize the teaching and learning process. It will help to feel more confident in the class because you will know what the next step is. The aim of planning is to map out learning activities in a coherent, logical way in order to help the students understand, learn and practice concepts and skills which will develop their abilities in English. When it comes to planning a whole scheme of work, it is important to ensure there is a balance of different skills work over the school year course. When we talk about methodologies and key competencies, we have to focus on active methodologies, where the student is the main character and teachers act as guides. We are facilitators in the student's learning development. The core of all the methodologies is cooperative learning. We need to practice this method first to be able to develop any of the other approaches. Its motto is, I win if you win. We all learn more and better if we do it together. There are 5 essential elements. The first one is positive interdependence. It exists when group members perceive that they are linked with each other in a way that one cannot succeed unless everyone else does. Individual and group accountability. Each member must be accountable for contributing his or her share of the work, which means co-responsibility. Promotive interaction. It occurs when members share resources and help, support, encourage, and praise each other's efforts to learn. Appropriate use of social skills. In cooperative learning groups, students are required to learn academic subject matter, which is the task work, and also to learn the interpersonal and small group skills required to function as part of a group, which means teamwork. And the last one, group processing. It exists when group members discuss how well they are achieving their goals and maintaining effective working relationships. Mastering the basic elements of cooperation allows teachers to 1. Take existing lessons, curricula, and courses and structure them cooperatively. 2. Tailor cooperative learning lessons to unique instructional needs, circumstances, curricula, subject areas, and students. 3. Diagnose the problems some students may have in working together and intervene to increase effectiveness of the student learning groups. Once we have created a cooperative environment, we can apply any other active methodology. A well-known and extended teaching method is project-based learning. The project can arise from a student's curiosity, or it can be more orientated by the teacher. In any case, there is a final product of task students need to carry out. In the process, students are able to investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex question, problem, or challenge. This methodology is good because it promotes high-order thinking skills, such as investigating, analyzing, synthesizing, and creating. It helps reflection on the learning process and to develop critical thinking. Another methodology is problem-based learning. It is similar to the previous methodology. The starting point is a real-world problem students need to solve. The problem must motivate students to seek out a deeper understanding of concepts. The problem should require students to make reasoned decisions and to defend them. The problem should incorporate the content objectives in such a way as to connect it to previous courses or knowledge. If used for a group project, the problem needs a level of complexity to ensure that the students must work together to solve it. If used for a multi-stage project, the initial steps of the problem should be open-ended and engaging to draw students into the problem. The problems can come from a variety of sources: newspapers, magazines, journals, books, textbooks, and television or movies. Some are in such a form that they can be used with little editing. However, others need to be rewritten to be of use. Now, the method for distributing a PBL problem falls under three closely related teaching techniques: case studies, role plays, and simulations. Case studies are presented to students in written form. Role plays have students improvise scenes based on character descriptions given. Another way of having our students at the center of the teaching and learning process is through dialogical learning. Ramon Flecha states that our social reality is built through social interaction. Meanings arise through general agreement achieved by human interaction. Students need to have learning experiences where they can participate and practice democracy. Dialogical teaching and learning stems from the following principles. The first one is that knowledge isn't fixed. It means different things to different people in different times and places. The other one is the dialogue between these different perspectives leads to new understandings and new knowledge. Furthermore, teachers and students can become more fully engaged in learning in an environment where these differences are respected and explored. Such exploration, where meanings are constructed from the inside by learners in dialogue rather than imposed from the outside, leads to powerful learning. And finally, learning through dialogue leads not only to content knowledge, but improved thinking skills. There are different success actions which can be developed at school: dialogical talks, interactive groups, tutorized libraries. In this case, we are going to focus on interactive groups. They are one approach for implementing inclusive groups in the classroom. Furthermore, interactive groups are based on dialogical learning and abide by its 7 principles: equalitarian dialogue, cultural intelligence, transformation, instrumental dimension, meaning creation, solidarity, and equality of differences. Interactive groups are an approach to organizing the classroom into small and heterogeneous groups with a red distribution of available human resources. This helps bonding with the community, and in many contexts it has transformed the school culture and its results. Finally, we need to reflect on how we group our students depending on the activity. We have individual, pair, or group activities. Individual activities are good when students need to work at their own pace. They can use their preferred learning styles and strategies. With pair activities, the students have the chance to work with and learn from other peers. And with group activities, group work provides more opportunity for practice and it can increase the students' creativity.